But as you rise to the top, as you keep on working on yourself and growing and start understanding the importance of having, safety, the importance of belonging, your self esteem, all of that stuff, climbing the ladder, right? Your self actualized self will then realize you came down here to express something with passion. And that's your purpose driven at the top. Self actualization, your realization of God. And it says self actualization is a person motivation to reach his or her full potential. As shown in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a person's basic needs must be met before self actualization can be achieved. Now, all of these physiological, safety, love, belonging, esteem are part of your chakra work, right? Your emotional centers, ridding yourself of the human emotions, right? So as you rid yourself of them human emotions, essentially you start to realize that you're bigger than the human urges, the demiurges, and you get into the self-actualized state of mind, which is God. So the human urges again, or the demiurges again, are keeping you trapped by your emotions, your root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart, right? Now, when you get to the heart, that's where the wounded child lies. But that wounded child then turns into Heru, and Heru comes back to the kingdom, right? Lion King Mufasa come back to the kingdom to be the king. So we want to understand that the kingdom is up here in your head, and that's you returning back home to take your rightful throne, your king, your crown, your tiara on in the pride land, which is all that you survey, even that dark area over there. Chaos in the blood, baby. I'm just telling y'all what it is. So then we got to look at it and just understand and remember all of these triangles are still pointing up to the first part of the weapons, right? The weapons cover. Boom. Very first part, the whole weapons theme, right? Is that. So boom, we're here, boom, self-actualization still. Climbing up the ladder, your basic needs, your psychological needs, but then you come becoming God at the top, self-actualize. Achieving one potential, your creative activities. What what are you meant to do to create? See, some of y'all are past all of these particular survival mode needs, right? If you're not, you just got to keep on because it's not necessarily about you. Uh, you got to understand that even if you in a one bedroom apartment, if you're having gratitude, thankfulness, love for yourself, now you're balanced. You're in a holistic appreciation for where you're at. Like you got a car, you got shelter, you're good. You can get food, right? You're good. So then the ego or the glamour starts to set in when you say, "Oh, well, I want a bigger house, a bigger car. Oh, I want to eat over here," and all of that, right? Your basic needs is you to understand that you have a physical body and it needs to be fueled. But your real God yearning energy is your self actualized being, which is your higher self, which is your higher mind, which is a higher way of thinking, which is your creative endeavors down here in this earth realm. And that's this triangle pointing up. So understand we're here, family. This is it. Weapons, we're here. You're the triangle, or you're the childlike spirit, right? And it's pointing up. As you see, these are children pointing up, right? Or they're in the form of this triangle, right? Just like the title, triangle. So the children are the childlike spirit. It's the childlike essence. It's the Heru. It's the higher self. It's the higher mind, right? They say you they say the children will set them free in the Bible, or whatever that verse is. And sure enough, that is a metaphysical concept to give you an understanding that you got to get back to the adventure, to your fun, to your passion, to the love that you have for self to grow, to expand, to be enlightened. The enlightened one, the enlightened mind, the illuminated one. You feel me? Very, very important to understand that. Now, in the show, they also had the construction. Uh, the dude, one of the dudes, he was a construction owner, right? He owned a construction company, and that is just constructing your new spiritual home, right? And as you can see, Adam and Eve is the concept of the human, right? Their house is pointing downwards. Their triangle is pointing downwards, right? Home pointing downwards, Adam and Eve. This is you as a human, right? And that human aspect of you, Adam and Eve, is the the part of you that needs the physiological, the safety, the love and belonging type of energies, right? The lower three chakra energy. You feel me? That's Adam and Eve. You're a human. You're in this human vessel, and you still got to respect it, but you got to understand that you got bigger fish to fry, which is us spiritual people, right? Because again, when you're saying you're spiritual, that means you're saying you transcended the human realm, right? So a lot of my work is based off of people understanding that a lot of people that's claiming to be spiritual haven't transcended the human realm because they're still in the survival mode instincts type of vibration, and they haven't moved past these particular urges. Yeah, you get up and go to work and do what you have to do, but that doesn't mean that's who you are, right? At your core. Even in you're doing your job, there still should be a fuel, a passion, a fire, what we're talking about, right? Fire, Leo the lion, courage, that gets you when you get out of that job, you put together some kind of passion driven purpose thing based off of your flame is so light, fired up. You feel me? You're intense, you're hyped, right? So then when you see the middle of Samuel and Lilith, and I'm trying to show y'all with my pointer, but it's not obviously I don't have no pointer. I wish they would have a pointer. That would be so fly if StreamYard had a pointer. But when you see Samuel and Lilith in the middle, you see the house is pointed up. Well, Samuel and Lilith or the Baphomet is actually your spiritual work, right? Your spiritual technologies. So remember, Baphomet is a multi-level symbol that's just expressing the spiritual technologies you have to get to work, to become that spiritual worker, to be illuminated at the top of the triangle. And y'all know what's the top of the triangle, right? We don't have to get there. Keter Bina Chokma, the top, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Father, mother, child, the top, the very top, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? The top of your home is pointing up. That's the triangle pointing up. That's the roof is pointing up, right? You're constructing your new spiritual home. You're constructing your new home down here in this third dimensional earth realm, but you're constructing it in the mind. So understand to the core that this triangle is showing all naked ass in this show weapons, as this triangle in the circle in the title weapons is what he wanted you to see without seeing it. You feel me? And nobody ain't gonna give it up to you like this. I'm just telling you what it is. The whole theme is about this triangle. This thing doesn't have anything to do with that whole adrenochrome and these people eating your things. All right, that's the surface level thing that they always do in these scary movies. They're trying to do that because again, they want the people that don't know Baphomet to stay out.